All right. Hello, good morning, good evening, and good night. I hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic because today what we're going to be talking about is a YMAX strategy, a Yieldmax strategy that I pretty much just created, which I'm going to implement in a new trading account. So what I want to talk about today is this strategy using YMAX and a 3 times bear SPXS stock, which is a stock that goes 3 times bear on the S&P 500. Basically, what I'm going to explain in this video is how we're going to use this 45% dividend yield and this 3 times bear stock on the S&P 500 to generate huge monthly income, but at the same time prevent our losses. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you a few different examples using these two stocks and ETFs. And I want to show you guys how you can protect yourself on the downside with Yieldmax and potentially still earn some great dividends. So if this does sound good, we're up to 5,033 subscribers, our first video after 5,000 subscribers. So thank you to everyone who subscribed, 340 subscribers in the past 28 days. I want to say I appreciate you guys hanging on. I haven't made a video in almost 6 days. Guys, I understand that my videos haven't been the best quality lately. I've been working a lot, but with this video, I want to hit back strong, and I want to tell you guys I'm going to only be uploading about once a week just due to my schedule. But with that once a week video, I want to bring the best video to you guys, like this Yieldmax, YMAX strategy, and with SPXS. So this is going to be a video that's going to be useful to you, and I want to share this with you right now. So what is YMAX? You guys already know I invest in YMAX, and maybe you guys invest in YMAX yourselves. The share price sitting at about $19.67. It has kind of the underlying stocks being TSOY, Apple, AMZ, Google, all these stocks here that you see that have Yieldmax funds. YMAX is the universe of funds in terms of Yieldmax. And what it does basically is it holds about 5% or so of all the Yieldmax funds. So it is a fairly diversified investment. And currently, at this point, it pays a 45% monthly dividend, which averages out to about 3.85% or so. So when looking at this, what do we see in terms of YMAX? What does it really hold? It holds TSOY. It holds Apple, which are tech stocks. It holds Moderna, or MRNY, which is Moderna. It holds as well. We have a couple different ones like Exxon. I've listed them here just to kind of show you. It holds the Yieldmax version of JP Morgan Chase. And you can see here that it's fairly diversified, being in the financial sector, oil and gas. We have technology with Amazon, Tesla, and we also have healthcare with Moderna. So you could see here that YMAX is a fairly diversified fund. And when we look at the stock price history of YMAX, you can see it's actually fairly good. You could see that it's IPO'd obviously about $20. It's been out for about 6 months or so. In this time frame, if you were to have held it for 6 months, you would have pretty much stayed almost equivalent on your capital, but been receiving about a 40 to 45% dividend. So that's the reason why I want to stick with YMAX as my Yieldmax fund. It's diversified across all Yieldmax ETFs and pays a great dividend, and it's not extremely volatile like individual Yieldmax stocks. Now, on the contrary, when we're looking at the S&P 500, we are going off of the S&P 500 bear 3 times shares, which is SPXS. And the reason I have this is that although YMAX is not, for example, the S&P 500, it does not perform exactly like the S&P 500 on a daily basis. It performs relatively close. And what I was actually shown this fund by a friend, and I think it's a great hedge to the downside when protecting yourself from Yieldmax's potential downside. Remember, this is a stock or ETF, a Yieldmax ETF that's paying 45% in dividends. It's obviously prone to the downside. And when YMAX goes down, it really hits our investments hard if we have a lot of money invested into it. And so in this video, what I want to show you guys here is how much, for example, $1,200 invested in YMAX and $300 in SPXS is going to yield you at different percents of gains and losses. So starting with $1,200 in YMAX, these are all $1,500 examples, for example, because in my trading account, I have about $1,500 currently, and I'm looking to put that to use. Obviously, I'm going to be investing way more than that, but this is just a start. So with $1,200 in YMAX, with a 9% gain, you're looking at a capital gain perspective, of about $1,308. When SPX, the 3 times bear, so whatever the S&P 500 does, it's going to go 3 times in the opposite direction. You could see that if YMAX is to gain about 9%, most likely SPXS is going to lose about 30%, which brings us down to $210, which is actually a total gain of $18 when starting with that $1,500 investment. Now looking at YMAX, same exact principle, but let's say YMAX, instead of going up 9%, it goes down 5%, and SPXS goes up 3 times in the opposite direction. Well, our YMAX position went down about $60 and our SPXS position went up about $45, which, although is not ideal, it only dropped us about $15 from our capital, like our starting capital. And the thing is here, YMAX pays a dividend. So even if it did go down 5%, we're receiving that dividend on top of this potential 15% downside. But it is a protected downside because we hold SPXS. And this is why I wanted to show you. Now, for example, in a TSLY strategy, I wanted to represent what if YMAX went down a significant amount, 40%. So our $1,200 went down 40%, down to $720. Well, holding SPXS, because YMAX is a diversified fund, it holds a bunch of different funds, more like stocks that are Yieldmax investments. So if YMAX was to really go down, I believe the S&P 500 would most likely be going in a downtrend as well because it is very diversified, which means SPXS would benefit from that. Now, I didn't boost it. Really, if it was like this, it should be 120%. But for this example, I really wanted to undercut it. Let's say YMAX went down 40%, leaving us with $720. SPXS went up 60%, where it really should have went double, 120%, but it provided us with a small gain of $180. We wouldn't be down as catastrophic, only down $300. And when looking at this, if we were to take the YMAX and just invest straight $1,500 at a 40% loss, we'd be left with $900. So you can see here, it protects us with almost about $300 of a difference when comparing a 40% loss in YMAX with our protected $300 versus all of our money in YMAX at a 40% loss. And to just put it into example, because we are only investing about $120 in YMAX, so we're not receiving as much monthly income as we would if we invested $1,500. $1,200 would give us about $40 a month. $1,500 would give us about $50 a month. That $10 difference is going to give us a lot of protection, which, if you're being honest, you're going to reinvest this and still be able to grow $40 a month compared to $50 a month at a great rate. So this was just a video kind of comparing and showing you a YMAX to SPXS strategy where we're using a 3 times bear stock to kind of hedge against any downside that we might see in YMAX. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If it provided you guys with some value, maybe a new strategy, please do remember to subscribe. We're up to 5,033 subscribers. If you guys did enjoy, give this video a like and suggest your own kind of strategies down below. I want to see what you guys are interested in and what you guys might be doing. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please do remember to subscribe. I hope you guys do take care, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.